So, good day everyone. In this essay, I explore the question, what is true happiness? So, related literature shows that many people today often confuse happiness what momentary pleasure is, like wealth, entertainment, or short-term comfort. Authors such as Karma Ura with his GNH or gross national happiness and Aristotle with his concept of eudaimonia argues otherwise, that real happiness is a holistic involving virtue, purpose, and community. However, what has often been overlooked is how these ideas can still guide us in today's world that is fast changing, diverse, and even driven by technology. This is the research gap my essay addresses: how to defend happiness as flourishing, not just pleasure in modern life. So, my thesis is that true happiness is not found in momentary pleasure but in lasting flourishing grounded in virtue, purpose, and community balance. First, happiness is holistic. It involves spiritual and cultural and moral life, not just material gain. And second, happiness is communal. People tend to journey or thrive when justice, dignity, and harmony are present in society. And third, material comfort matters, but it is not enough. Beyond a certain point, true fulfillment requires purpose and moral balance. Therefore, happiness is objective and enduring, not just subjective pleasure or wealth. So for the objections, of course, some thinkers challenge this view. First, Srikant 2023 argues that Aristotle's idea of happiness is too rigid for modern pluralistic societies where people define happiness differently. Second, Shapka 2024 claims that technology and AI could become the new foundation of flourishing, giving people more leisure and creativity. And third, Easterlin and O'Connor 2020 show that rising income does influence happiness, especially in poorer nations, suggesting that wealth is more central than virtue theories admit. And fourth, Nair 2022 critiques JNH as impractical for larger and diverse economies outside Bhutan. And lastly, Sen 2021 argues that happiness indices ignore freedom, equality, and justice, which are essential to genuine flourishing. So my replies to the objection in response, I would say, first, while Aristotle's model may seem rigid, it highlights universal human capacities such as virtue, reason, and community that apply across cultures. GNH shows this can adapt to a diverse societies. And second, technology is a useful tool, but without virtue and discipline, it risks fueling escapism. Real flourishing needs ethical use of technology. And third, income matters, especially in reducing poverty, but beyond survival, money alone cannot guarantee deep happiness. Meaning and community still matter more. So fourth, while GNH may face challenges globally, its principles, cultural vitality, justice, and sustainability, these remain valuable as ethical guides alongside GDP. And finally, freedom, equality, and justice are not opposed to happiness, but part of it. Ura's GNH includes rights and dignity, while Aristotle places justice at the heart of virtue. So together, they show happiness as holistic and enduring.